We live.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Love and Marriage podcast. I am your host, Wendy O. This is my co-host, Hotep Jesus. How are you doing tonight, Hotep?
Oh, life is good. Life is good. How are you?
I'm good. First and foremost, happy birthday, and how was your birthday?
Oh yeah, thank you. It's great, wonderful. Happy to be alive still.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. You want to hear what happened to me this weekend?
Uh-oh, what happened?
Okay, so first we found a house, which is amazing. So we're all packed and we're not going to be able to. The house is closing, I think tomorrow it's closing. But we found a rental. So amen to that. And the neighborhood we wanted, the school is rated 10 out of 10. It's near a park, it's perfect for the baby. So we found a house, which is good. But on Sunday, after we went to go see the house, I got in a car accident.
What?
So you want to, are you ready for the tea?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm driving, I'm going into Costco, I'm making a left, and a car cut in front of me because people cut each other off in California all the time. So a car cuts in front of me, okay, fine. And then I didn't slam on my brakes, but I slowed down a bit. And we're already stopped, so no one should have been going fast anyways. So a big white truck slams into me from the back. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I'm going like I understand stuff happens. I'm not a sue happy person. I'm just, whatever. So I was thinking in my head because it took a while, there's construction. So we pull in and I was going to tell the guy, let's not put it through the insurance. Just make sure you pay for it. Like we'd figure it out. So he hops out his car and starts yelling at me, asking me why the F I slammed on my brakes. I was already out of the car. So he saw my size. He saw, my physique, everything. This man was like 6'3", like 200 to 300 pounds. He's a big MFer. So I was like, oh, hell no. I was just not interested that day. So I said, I am not the F and one. Don't speak to me that way. And I caught some attitude because don't speak to me that way. Like, don't get in my face. Don't act like you're going to put hands on me. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And so he kind of caught him off guard, but then he started like da, 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 and just so I went off on him. I just was like cussing, I was yelling, whatever, because I needed to, and I'm normally not that type of person, but I needed to give that energy back because when you're dealing with somebody that might be violent with you, or you're dealing with somebody that's already irrational and angry, for me, the way I would defend myself is I pop off like that because there's no sense in talking to somebody, especially he had that woman beater vibes, like the wife beater vibes. So it's like, whatever. And so it just kept getting out of hand. So I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm going to call my husband and, he'll come down here and he'll deal with you because he didn't want to give me his driver's license. He just gave me his insurance card, whatever. And he got really mad when I said I was going to call my husband, like really mad. So I was like, okay, I know what this guy's doing. So he got in his car, he sped off. He went to go get gas, and there's lines at the Costco. It's like a BJ's. I think you guys got BJ's wholesale out by you. So then I call my man. My husband's pissed, like mad because, before he sped off, I was on the phone with Sam, my husband, and Sam heard him screaming at me and cussing at me. So and
Mm.
Sam's like, I'm coming down there. Call the police though, because if he's not going to give you the driver's license. So I called the police. The police came down. It was a female officer, and because the guy wasn't there, she's like, "What happened?" Da, da, da. So I told her, and then my husband, and then the guy pulls it back up just because he sees the cops there, and then my husband hops out of the car and like loses it. So one of the male officers had to grab him and push him back because he got upset. And they ended up giving the guy a speeding ticket. Nobody got hurt or anything, but it was just like it was just crazy. Like it was. This was in the
Mm.
suburbs too.
Mm. So what happened when your husband got down there?
When he got down there, my husband like went to go talk to because he started piping up again. The guy started piping up, and my husband heard, so he was like, "Oh hell no, you're not gonna," but in a different way, and basically was calling him a POS and all that type of stuff. And the cop like stood in front of him, was like, "Sir, just get in your car. I understand you're frustrated." So he did, but after the whole ordeal was done, my man he goes, that's one of the first times that an officer was on my side and I didn't get my ass whooped.
Black Lives Matter.
Well, right, our
Oh
brown lives matter.
man.
I don't know. So,
Wow. Well,
so it,
at least you're not injured or anything like that.
No, I'm
You're
fine.
safe.
It just like, I mean, I had some neck pain and stuff, but I was just so mad the way he spoke to me that way. And so then, of course, I go to my gym. I didn't tell her right away that I was in the accident because I wanted to train and I wasn't in pain. So I told her what happened, and she like after when I was paying her, she just like looked at me like this. And then when I told her, I was like, yeah, it was an accident. This guy popped off, da da da. And then I told her how I piped back up, and I said that to him. She's all, girl, I was fucking waiting for you to say that. She's all, that's how you stand up for yourself. She's like, you cannot let people push you around. She's like, I was waiting for it. So after talking to her, because she's a therapist, so after talking to her, we started talking about boundaries, and she's like, you know what? That's what your gut told you to do, and you can't let people walk over you.
Indeed. Indeed.
So
Yeah.
that was my
Mm.
my Sunday. It was very interesting. And did I tell you
I'm surprised you ain't hit his ass.
what
On them
happened?
boxing lessons. I said, I'm
Oh,
surprised you ain't hit him with on them boxing lessons.
he was a big dude. It kind of caught me off guard because I haven't been spoken to like that from a person in a long time. I used to get that a lot when I worked when I worked in West Hollywood at the pharmacy, because a lot of my clients, they were angry, they had mental issues, they were upset. So I was kind of taken back a little bit, because normally people could just act like whatever, but he was like coming in hot. So, and did I tell you what happened at the gym with my daughter, how I brought her?
No.
So I took my daughter to the boxing gym because I didn't have childcare. So my trainer is just like, because my daughter is like getting excited, and then I was like, Kitty, me and Nita were sparring. So my daughter jumps up and she goes, "You go, mom! You go, mom! You go, girl! You got this, girl! You go!" And my trainer, because she was drinking water, she spit her water across the gym because she's like, "I cannot believe your daughter just said that." And she's like dying laughing. So
Oh man, she's such a beautiful soul.
I love her, and she walks up to Miss Nita and she goes, Miss Nita, you're my hero. She goes, I really like what you do here at your gym. One day when I get enough confidence, I'm gonna come train with you.
How old is she now?
She's 4.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
She's 4. So now that that's out of the way, can we talk a little bit of crypto? Because I want to hear your opinion on something, because I don't think you and Uncle Hotep talked about it.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
What do you think about people saying talk? Because Arthur Hayes, he's a black man, and people are now saying that his exchange, because he's very successful, he owns a famous, or he's a founder CEO of a very famous crypto derivatives exchange called BitMEX, and they've been under investigation since like 2017, 2018, because in a lot of territories, margin trading is illegal. But now the crypto community, which is so funny that it's coming from the crypto community, they're saying that it's because he's black. They're trying to take him down.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I don't know. It's a funny situation, man.
I don't know. I talked about it. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think people are trying to use the whole everything that's going on as a reason to claim it, because they've been under investigation since like 2018, and every margin trading platform, they are under investigation too. Like it's kind of flat when it comes to that. They don't care. SEC, I don't
About
think
who?
cares
The
anymore.
SEC?
Yes, SEC.
Yeah, they're fucking criminals. That's the problem, man. Communists.
Hmm.
Communists want to tell you how you could do business and whatnot in the idea of protecting people.
They pretend to have the best interest, but that kind of segues us
Yeah.
into our next thing, was with John and Janice.
Okay, what happened with them?
So I want to say it was like 2 days ago. John McAfee, the SEC, came out with the post, or was published in the news, that he was picked up for illegally shilling ICOs, which, okay, fine, and that he failed to pay his taxes. And everybody knows that he's against paying his taxes because he talks about it. And he's one of the few advocates in crypto that is actually walking the walk and saying, F the Fed, F the government, F paying taxes. And he's out there on the run. So a lot of people support him for that. And I support him for that, because I think I don't have the balls to do it, and he's out there
Mm.
doing it. But yeah, and now people are trashing him. Whatever, it's just a mess. These people like to flip flop all the time. But about an hour after they stated that he got picked up, Janice posted a photo of them together, and she's like, "Nah, they don't have him. He's with me."
Mm.
And
Yeah,
then
I saw that picture.
she put out a statement the day after. She said it was an intern that posted that photo. He is detained, in fact, and our attorneys are fighting it.
Uh, wow. Detained by who?
So yeah,
Who's he detained by?
huh?
Who's he detained by?
Oh, it's by Spain.
Spain. Wow, that's crazy. And what's the charge?
For tax evasion and for illegally promoting a security, because when you promote, which is kind of weird because I don't think he is a United States citizen, but he doesn't reside in the United States. So if he is getting,
Hmm.
because I do promotion all the time of securities, but I've got an attorney and I disclose them and I do whatever, the SEC wants me to do. He didn't disclose it, but it's like everybody knew it was freaking obvious. But that's what they're detaining him for. And they also said because they're saying that he helped pump the price of Bitcoin because he said he was going to eat his own DICK if price didn't go to like $1 million by 2020. So that was also in the news story.
They try to get him in that too. That's funny.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they have a grounds to stand on. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of it.
Mm, mm. That's wild. That's wild. Well, another chapter in the John McAfee story.
I'm going to try to, if he does get out, I'm going to try and get them back on.
Yeah, right.
If that
Let's see
is,
how he gets. Let's see how he gets. How Houdini gets out of this one.
if it plays out, we'll see, man. It's crazy though. Could you imagine being on the run your whole life though?
I couldn't. I couldn't do it.
And with your well, I know that he's got lots of kids, but the kids aren't there. But you and your girl, if you guys are out on the run, I couldn't imagine it.
Not for me. That's not the life for me. I don't like stress.
And shout out to Janice because she is an ultimate ride or die. That is a ride or die.
She sure is. He is one of a kind.
Yes. So segueing into because we got some other stuff. So remember how we talked about Jeffree Star that one time that guy dated him, that NBA player dated him, and you're like, it's grifting season, it's 2020, and that's what it's about. I bet you
Yeah.
that he got paid or whatever it was.
Yeah. What happened?
So he ended up, the NBA player actually did get paid by Jeffree Star, got paid $100,000 to pose as his boyfriend. And Jeffree Star is claiming that he stole a bunch of like Louis Vuitton from his stuff, and it's been posted all publicly and whatnot. So basically, Jeffree Star hired him, paid him that $100,000 because he didn't want to seem like a racist anymore because he had made some racial comments in the past.
So this is another case of Hotep's been told you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Another one. Look at that.
It just kind of like I don't know. To me, that's like you play in a very not you, but that gentleman, he played in a very dominant, like male dominated, very like machismo sport, and like for you to like get paid only $100,000 to be with somebody who's trans, and that's fine if that's his thing. But if you're not really into someone that's trans, only getting paid $100,000 to pretty much ruin your career and ruin like your image, that to me, that's not worth it.
But does it ruin his image?
It's not a lot of money.
But does that ruin his image?
It did. I think it does ruin his image.
How?
Well, because you're playing in a very male dominated sport where it's like super machismo, and now like I don't know, I just feel like people are going to look at him differently.
But LGBT is in right now.
I
Dwayne
know
Wade's daughter is trans.
just because it's out in the media and just because people are talking about the LGBTQAI, I have no idea what that AI means. I don't even know what queer means because
It's
everybody.
mainstream. It's mainstream. It's popular. So he did the popular thing. He didn't do the least popular thing. Just because he's in a sport, it means nothing. He did the popular thing, which means he did the best thing for his PR, which means he did the best thing for a celebrity. I don't see how his reputation is damaged anyhow. I don't give it. First of all, your sexuality, you shouldn't feel embarrassed no matter where you are. You like men, you like women, whatever it is. There's men in the NFL who are gay and openly. Nobody really cares about playing the sport. Ain't nobody thinking about him.
I don't know. I see it differently. Like I don't like I don't know. Just getting paid like if you're trans or you're like into dudes or into girls or whatever, same sex, like that's cool. But keep that same energy. Don't flip flop for money. I feel like that damages your brand or your image that way. I think differently though, because I think of it more as like a personal thing. But you come from it from a business perspective. I think.
Well, you said it hurt his brand, and I'm trying to figure out how it hurt his brand.
Because now Jeffree Star came out and said that he stole a bunch of Louis Vuitton stuff from him, and I don't know. Like it doesn't that
So
doesn't seem
he got some street cred, and now Jeffree Star looks like a racist because he's accusing a black guy of stealing.
right. Okay. Okay. I don't it's just messy. It's just messy.
Oh yes, absolutely, it's messy. I mean,
I don't know.
that's what
I couldn't
Hollywood
be.
is.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Mm.
There's no amount of money that you can pay me to flip flop. Anyways, so when we were remember how we were talking about that video assault babe or bay or whatever, he was all over the internet with him like filming that girl. She was like dancing, shaking her booty.
Yeah.
So I did some recon on that, and apparently it's all over TikTok. And the reason why that guy got so mad is that was his little sister, and she was underage. She was like 17.
Oh my God. Well, now it makes sense why he was so angry. Now it
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, he's abusive." Da da da. But if that was my sibling and they were underage,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Yeah. Yes, everybody's saying, "Oh, he's abusive." It's like I didn't know the context of the story or what the
If that was your
details
little
were.
sister,
So
what would you do?
probably the same thing as him. I'd be spazzing, right?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck I'm doing? Like,
I told my husband, what would you do? I showed it to him. I go, what would you do if you saw me doing that? And he's like, he like went off. He was kind of being funny. He's like they would not make it outside alive. He said some other things. I can't repeat. I probably shouldn't be repeating that, but he was just like, no, not
oh Lord
happening.
have mercy. Mm-mm-mm.
We're messy. We're a little bit messy over here.
You'll get that man a heart attack.
You know, I don't know if it's if where we came from. I don't know. It's just how we are. We're trying to get out of that. But so in the new neighborhood that we're going to be moving to, like the neighborhood I live in now, it's not a nice neighborhood. There's lots of stuff going on all the time. It's a hood. But there's not a lot of political stuff. Like you don't see any BLM, you don't see Antifa, you don't see like any LBGTQ, HIBC, LMFG, you don't see any of that stuff. But this new neighborhood in the suburbs, there's BLM signs, there's rainbow signs, there's stuff like that on certain houses. And me and my man were kind of like, are we moving into the right neighborhood? Like
Wow. Y'all moving into Antifaville.
so it's a and then they had a Trump rally there and that was like, okay, fine, whatever. And it was actually hosted by Filipinos, which was interesting in California. And so because we were passing by the house because we had a showing to go to, and this because we had to pull aside to check to my husband had to check something, and this guy with a Mexican flag drives by and is like yelling at them, like saying Latinos, whatever. And then
Mhm.
there's a Latino guy that was there, a Mexican guy. He's all Latinos for Trump, and my husband was laughing. He thought it was like the funniest thing ever because he's like, I can't believe two Mexicans are fighting right now. And so my daughter heard everything. So her in the back seat, she's all Latinos for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh no. Poor
I'm like,
baby. No, baby, no.
I said, Sam, I said, she cannot be saying that. She cannot be saying that because, we're probably going to be out somewhere because they repeat everything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine if she said that like loud in front of like a lot of people. That'd be hilarious.
So I'm
I'd
glad
pay
no
to
one,
watch it. I'd pay to watch that. See how people react to a child. Say, Latinos for Trump.
her little, her little fair skinned Latino self. I was like, oh my God. Because our neighborhood, I'm like the only white girl on the street. But she hasn't repeated it again. So that's good. That's nice and healthy and good.
Oh
So
Lord
that
have
was another fun thing that happened. Did you and your girl, did you guys watch American Murder?
Nah, what's that?
It's on Netflix. Look it
What
up really quick.
is that the one where they talk about all the people who get murdered and whatnot, the investigations?
No, well, no, it was actually a specific documentary. It happened in Colorado about 2 years
Oh,
ago. Yeah, look it
American
up.
Murder?
Yeah, American Murder is on Netflix.
American Murder digs into why Chris Watts killed his family.
Yep, a man, he killed his wife and his two little girls.
Oh my God, why?
One was 2 and the other was under 4.
Why'd he do that?
So they had been the wife. I watched the documentary and they kind of painted her out to be like a little bit of a bitch. She was kind of controlling and whatnot. She had issues with his parents, which that's a common thing. And we talked about this on the show before. I think that people, out of respect for your partners, you just put up with the in laws because you don't marry them,
Yeah.
you marry your partner. But she was having issues with the in-laws, and I think he was cheating on her. So they were having like some problems, some communication problems. So she went to go to like North Carolina with her parents, and he was just started to be even more distant. During that time when when she was gone in North Carolina with the kids, he was cheating on her with one of his coworkers. And then
Mm,
like a month after she got back, it was really bad. Like he wouldn't sleep with her. He really wouldn't talk to her. He was sending her all these lovey-dovey text messages, but didn't really want to be physically in contact with her. And then what happened? Let me see my notes. And then I guess the night that he murdered her, he slept with her and then told her, I'm leaving you because there's another woman. So she got mad and she got upset and was like, I'm not going to let you see your kids, which I hate when people, especially women, I hate when they tell their spouse that or their ex. Like you
mm,
don't use the kids as a bargaining chip. But
mm,
she told that to him, and then I guess he strangled her to death.
That's so sad.
And then his daughter came in and she's like, "Is mommy okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he put her in a sheet, put her in the car, put the 2 kids in a car, went to go
Mm,
bury her, and then hurt each child. And then yeah,
he killed each child and buried them too.
it's crazy. It's so sad.
Did he kill himself?
No, he's in prison.
So he killed everybody but himself.
Yeah,
Oh, what a coward!
but could you imagine? Like, I can't even fathom like what was going on through his head. Like, did he think he's gonna get away with it? Like people are going to know that the kids are gone and that the his partner's gone, and now he's in prison for the rest of his life with like he's got like 3 lifetime sentences. Like
Mm,
just I don't understand why somebody would just not leave, would not just pick up and leave.
mm, mm, mm. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Sometimes people get mental illnesses, man. When that brain go, when that mind goes, that's it. Sometimes it's no good explanation for things like that once you have a mental illness.
But what do you think triggers it, like for like obviously he's a coward, but he was like a 40-year-old man. Like what do you think, like one day you just snap?
Um, yeah, yeah. I think that you 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 your view of life changes, right? How you view life has to completely change. You would your brain would have to be rewired to even consume reality different and interpret reality different. Your life is probably like every moment, every day is probably reinforcing a whole lot of negative thoughts to the point where the brain's just completely rewired to something just self-destructive.
I don't know. I agree with what you're saying and I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm just like, there's very few people that I dislike that much that I would want to cause like I number one, I could never think of even harming a child, like ever. But like there's very few people that I could even think about like wanting to like take their life. Like somebody that, maybe somebody that had attacked me or attacked somebody I loved in a very, very violent way. Like if I had to fight for my life, then yes. But just like just thinking about, okay, I'm gonna go do this and then acting it out.
Yeah, but I think that's where the statement, he'll lose your mind or he lost his mind comes from because that person isn't in their mind anymore. They're like gone, like the consciousness is gone.
It was really sad. Like I watched it and it was just so upsetting because I was seeing people talk about it. So
Mm,
I wanted to kind of see what it was about. because I like, you know, I like some of the mystery, like unsolved mysteries and stuff. Like I used to be
Mhm.
on Lifetime. I used to watch it with my grandma, and some of that stuff isn't like it's not that dark. It's like, you know, maybe just between a husband and a wife, or it's like somebody goes missing, or there's a crime that happens, but it doesn't really show you like intimate details. But this particular documentary show because all this woman recorded everything on Facebook, like everything
Oh.
on Facebook. So it was there, and they were showing text message, like personal text messages, like her being upset and frustrated. Oh, and she was pregnant too with their third child when he did it.
Mm. That's sad. That's such a
And
shame.
but it just showed a lot of personal stuff, and she was complaining because he wasn't giving her sex, but she was also pretty pushy too. And I understand, like, I don't know, I'm not bashing women for this, but there's some women that when they're in a relationship with a man, whether they're married and you're married a long time, they get to be almost like a Karen to their man, and they're just like constantly bitching and complaining about stuff. And I'm not defending him at all, but I feel like as women we should be careful, like what type of, like if we want to pick arguments and pick fights with our partner, like what type of stuff we're getting mad about. If it's something like really small, like we don't like their parents or whatever, you tolerate them. Or if it's like if
Mm.
somebody spills milk or there's something on the floor, just like don't fight over petty stuff, because it's going to end up becoming more and more toxic. And stuff, not necessarily stuff like this can transpire, but other things and other issues can transpire, and maybe violence, because you know sometimes people can only take so much abuse or so much drama.
Indeed. Indeed. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. Appreciate you, homie. $50 super chat. Thanks, bro. He
Woohoo.
said, shout out to Hotep Jesus. Thanks for coming out, fam. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for the hospitality. Had a real great time, man. Sure knows how to treat a brother. I tell you that Donovan Sharp. Great time down there with you, man.
um
I was with him yesterday.
oh, where did it go? What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I just there's just been so much crazy stuff going on lately, and I don't know. Oh, and then I was do like I saw this article that came out about Offset because they're having the really messy divorce right now, Offset and Cardi. But basically, he was saying that some the this tabloid person was reporting that one of the reasons that broke them apart was her WAP video, and he said it was way too sexual and it just made him like not desire her anymore. I think that's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, that's some garbage. That's not true.
I feel sad for her though.
Why?
I feel sad for her because like I watched some of their Instagram stories and it seemed like she really did love him. And if he was in fact really cheating on her to get somebody pregnant, like when you get like you could be a rapper and you could be a rock star or whatever it is, but if you get married, unless that's not part of your relationship, you shouldn't be cheating on your partner.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Huh?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't know. I just it's just
I
not
see that as one of those Jeffree Star relationships. I don't think their I never thought their relationship was real.
really.
Yeah.
I did. Well, you're probably right. Hotep's probably been told me, but I felt like I watched their stuff and it just seemed like she loved him so much the way she would look at him and stuff. And there's a couple performances that they did to where he like she would just be looking at him and some like there was like one song about him cheating that she sang and she was like legitimately hurt.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
You're not a hopeless romantic.
Not with Cardi B and Offset.
Just because they're rappers and just because she's ghetto doesn't mean that they can't find love.
um, that's true. You're right, but that don't mean that they're in love. I
Do you think there's anybody, any celebrities that are legitimately in love with each other? Or you think it's all just publicity?
don't think anyone's in love with each other anywhere in this earth except for the first 30 days you talk to a person.
Really?
Do you ever feel strongly about a person as the first 30 days you talk to
Yes.
them?
Hmm.
When?
I know, right? Every relationship I've been in, I've known like the first date if it was going to last long or if it wasn't.
No. When did it feel best?
Oh, the first 30 days, of course.
Okay, then. That's the only people that are in love, are the people in the first 30 days. Once you come out of that first 30 days, or whatever that period is, they call it the honeymoon phase. in love falls off. You are no longer in love. You're stuck with each other for some stupid reason. And then you're a partner now. And now it's all about respectability, accountability, and understanding, and a whole bunch of other adult shit that make relationships work. Communication and sex, right? That's what's holding the relationship together. Nobody's fucking in love. There's nobody in love. The only people in love are the people that are together the first 30 days. After that, nobody's fucking in love. Do you love the person is, one thing, if you're even capable of love. But nobody's in love. And love is some made up thing.
Well, I'm a hopeless
In order
romantic.
in order in order to create in love, you would need to create some distance for some time period. And then when you come back, the in loveness would last all but 2 hours.
I don't know. I'm okay. I agree with what you're saying, but I'm also a hopeless romantic, and I don't know if it's because if I've read too many like love stories, or have you read that book Love Letters of a Great Man?
Absolutely not.
Has your fiance read it?
Probably not.
Okay. I read some of it and it's very poetic, and it just shows because the reason why I brought it up because is you're talking about distance, and those people way back in the day, a lot of marriages were arranged. You were supposed to wait till you were married to consummate that marriage, but and then a lot of times people would get pushed apart by war because there was consistent war at that time.
Mhm.
So I feel like, let's say you were in love with somebody and you got married, and then 30 days pass and that person goes off to war. I feel like that was that period you guys were away, there was a lot of romance because you had to keep the relationship alive in those letters.
Indeed. And love can only happen from a distance.
So then how do you make a marriage sustain if you have to keep love alive from a distance?
Respect, right? Understanding and communication. Communication probably comes first. You gotta over communicate. You gotta over communicate your wants, desires, and expectations. And you gotta compromise on those expectations.
But how, if you're supposed to communicate and express your desires, your thoughts, your wants, your needs, how do you maintain that with that distance apart?
Well, when you got the distance, you're in love, so you don't really care about the rest of this shit. Right?
I'm gonna
But
miss my ice cream man.
it's a lot of women who they man went off to war and he come back and she got a whole new man and babies. That has happened too. And oh
Mhm.
my God, I thought you died. They told me you died in the last battle. And here she is knocked up with some other dude, baby. And he come back from war like, damn, what the fuck? A lot of that shit happened too. So let's not act like it's been all peachy creamy.
No, you're 100% right. There's a lot of unfaithfulness that went on just during that distance time, and but
Mhm.
can you fault your partner for? There's a saying. There's a saying when you're dating somebody who's in jail or you're married to someone that's in jail is that when the man goes in, you can be a ride or die. But there's a saying that no, somebody has to keep that bed warm, and once you get locked up or once you go away, it's to be expected.
What's to be expected?
Huh?
You said what? What's to be expected?
That another man is gonna be keeping your girl's bed warm, regardless if you're married or not. If your man gets locked up or goes to jail,
Hey, life ain't fair. Find another one. Who cares? If your woman cheats on you, you should thank her. You should thank her. You should say thank you. You made me a free man. And he go get you some more hoes. you know?
you're sassy tonight. You're negative Nancy tonight.
No, that's my outlook. That's my outlook on these subjects. It's been my outlook for a very long time.
I know. But what happens if the man's at war and does he get to go cheat with like a prostitute or with somebody?
What do you mean gets to? What does that mean? Does he get to?
No, because when men go away,
The the the
sometimes
the, the only person you have to answer to for your sins is your conscience. Will your conscience allow you to do so? If your conscience will allow you to do so, you'll do some crazy things in this world.
true.
And if you don't have to do your conscience, you won't feel bad about whatever it is that you do. Now, how that person retaliates or reacts to your infidelity is another story. They're the ones that are going to dictate what you are or what they're going to put up with. It's not what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to do whatever the hell you want on this earth. God gave you free will. It's up to your spouse to say what they're willing to put up with. They can't stop you from doing anything, but they can stop themselves from being with you.
That's true. That's really true. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still a hopeless romantic though.
Yeah, I mean, you're a girl. That's that's what women are. You guys are hopeless romantics. I'm a realist. You know that shit sounds cute, but that shit ain't real.
But I guess that goes hand in hand with what you're saying about the conscious, because when we're talking about that man doing horrible things to his family, his conscious, for him to get to that level, not only did he something happen to where he snapped, but he built it up in his mind to where he allowed his conscience to allow it, or manipulated his conscience or played it up like, this is a good idea, you should do this. And I think that goes hand in hand with other people that commit violent, nasty crimes, is that they allow or they talk their conscience up, even though they know it's wrong. Most majority of them do, but they make it seem like it's okay.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Uh, you can reason almost any sin if you want to, um, but you still have to answer your conscience. But sometimes when you lose your mind, you lose your conscience, so you're able to do like weird stuff, like kill your kids. Like I don't know what kind of weird shit that is, but that's what happens when you lose your, connection with your conscience, or you're not conscious of it at all.
And I think that's why spirituality, however you want to play it, is important, and to keep yourself grounded. Because if you're not accountable to yourself and to your mind, and understanding what's right and wrong, because there's law and order, and the government and different religions and the way we're brought up dictate to us what's right and wrong. But we can pick and take from that to kind of mold into our own person. But I think if you don't practice meditation, or you don't practice some sort of religion or just some sort of ritual or routine, I think that can get skewed, and then people can do horrible things.
Yeah, I believe having a moral code helps. HOTEPs have the 10 HOTEP commandments, um, and that keeps us grounded, keeps us focused, and lets people know what we're about, helps them understand us. So yeah, I think having a moral code is a necessity. It's your compass, right, and keeps you headed, in the right direction.
That also goes, though, is into really what is right and wrong. Because again, we've got religion that dictates, we've got law and order that dictates, we have ethics, we have laws, we have societal standards, we have family standards. So maybe, and there's a lot of different cultural standards that they have for different cultures. Like there's some women that are required to dress a certain way to be ladylike or presentable. Some men are required to wear certain things or have a specific hairstyle or have lots of facial hair. So who's to say what's right and wrong?
Mm, mm. Um. So, how does it go? Uh, people people do what's socially popular. So whatever is socially popular is correct, and what is socially unpopular is wrong. The society dictates right and wrong.
Who said that?
I said it. What do you mean? Who said it?
But if society, because like you said in the beginning of the conversation, you said society is proclaiming that LBGTQ whatever is like this is it's like it's what's in, it's what the media is supporting. Then is that like saying that a straight man should participate in homosexuality because it's a societal norm and that's what society agrees to?
A straight man can't participate in homosexuality.
Say that one more time.
A straight man, it's impossible for a straight man to participate in homosexuality.
But then that would also say that if somebody says if killing is wrong, and somebody has a very strong moral compass against that, but society is pushing that killing is okay, then doesn't that go both ways?
Yes, then killing is okay. Your society dictates what's okay.
So society is just really effed up, and we shouldn't. If something is popular in society and being pushed, then we should probably do the opposite.
Sometimes.
How are you able to weed that stuff out, though?
Lots of wisdom.
No, but I mean, what type of like in this, because this stems into relationships, because the way we carry ourselves in public, I don't know what my ice cream man's doing. I don't know what, like, the way we carry ourselves in public towards societal norms, also we bring that home to our family. So if you're, for example, if you're hanging, like, let's say I'm hanging around other women that are cheating on their husbands or hitting their husbands, I'm putting myself, and there's, it's socially that's acceptable, and the media is proclaiming that that's socially acceptable. And if I bring that home to my family, that's not going to fly here. So it's like, how do you decide what is acceptable in society, and then what's acceptable at home, and how do you bridge those together in a happy medium?
um, so to bring them together, I believe it is think as you wish, but act as others do. Is the mantra, you know. So you can have your own family code. There's a lot of things that are, for example, usury. Many people believe that's wrong, but it's a common practice in our society. So what's right and wrong is really subjective. And in order to correct the course of what you deem to be right and wrong, you'd have to gain some sort of power and some sort of leverage to change societal norms. Like they do through media and Hollywood and whatnot, and music. If you'd have said, black women was twerking on TV in the 50s, they would have looked at you crazy. If they said, that was wrong at one point. Some of the things that the FCC has deemed wrong a few years ago, they've become lax on. So I mean, society slowly moves towards the devil. You're muted.
Sorry, I have the ice cream man coming. Is anybody in the chat? Is there a debate going on right now?
Yeah, Pence,
Who's
Pence,
winning?
Pence, Kamala. Pence is whooping her ass.
He's winning.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that was gonna happen. He's just a different caliber of politician. Like, she wasn't ready for that. There's nothing they could have done to prepared her for Pence. And I don't know why people thought she stood a chance. But I studied Pence. I studied Pence this summer. I was like, not, yeah, I think, no, maybe, yeah, it could have been early this year, last year. But I was like, who is this Pence guy? And I sat down and just like listened to him speak. And like, after like 5 minutes, I quickly realized, like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking sharp ass dude. And I'm like, okay, he's probably the one running the country. It's not Trump. Trump's just a figurehead. Pence is probably calling a lot of these shots and telling Trump how to answer these questions or whatnot. But Trump's the brain in the White House in the executive branch.
Yeah, I think that not to dive too much into politics before we get going here, but a lot of people that have issues with Trump, which that's fine, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but people like want him out of office. But if he goes out of office, doesn't Pence get his place?
Yeah, they don't want Pence in
And
there.
isn't he like, wouldn't Pence be like a million times worse
Yeah, and he'll get away with it too because
for
he's clean. He
people?
doesn't. Yeah, he's presidential too. So
So I don't know. That's just
yeah.
my opinion. So I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to discuss?
No, that is all, dear.
All right. Well, I'm going to come up with some. I might schedule a guest for next week because he owns a lot of clubs in Vegas, and I'd like to kind of hear how he transitioned from being a club, hotel owner, restaurant owner in Vegas. He still is, but how they're transitioning to COVID, and also kind of hear about his messy divorce that he has and what's going on with that because it was very public, and he is a very well known person in the Vegas, New York nightlife, and in Chicago.
Okay, dope. Look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, set alerts, and catch hope. Do you want to plug your other stuff you got going on?
Hotep's been telling you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Tune in.
Tune in.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
guys. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye bye.